covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Hello, I am Ayanna Blake, and welcome to Mind Your Mind. Today, let's explore the difference between intentions and resolutions and how they impact our mental health. Resolutions are firm decisions to achieve specific goals, like I will lose 10 pounds. While they can be motivating, they often come with pressure and a fear of failure if not achieved. On the other hand, intentions are about the journey and mindset, such as I intend to eat more healthier. They focus on the process, allowing for flexibility and self-compassion, which can be more nurturing for our mental well-being. As we begin the new year, I encourage you to set a positive intention for yourself and see how it transforms your journey. I am Ayanna Blake, reminding you to mind your mind. For more inspiration, connect with me on social media or visit ayannablake.com. Until next time, take care of your mind and keep moving forward on your pathway to wellness.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chancellor Brewington, powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
We are happy to be with you here on a Wednesday afternoon. It is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. I'm Jake Bachman in studio alongside the host of the show, Chancellor Brewington. Chancellor, how's it going today?
Man, it's going fantastic. I'm having a great day. I would describe it as, man, I'm full of life, man. I'm full of life. I'm full of energy. I wake up, man, now with a purpose, knowing where I'm heading. And I think that comes through, understanding certain information and applying it. And that gives me confidence and faith to go out and embark on a new day and to make sure that, my mental attitude is correct before I leave the house. I think that's the most important thing for me. But I hope everyone listening is having a great day. I mean, of course, I'm having one, but what really matters is that y'all are having one and that you guys are influencing your own circumstances in life through your mental attitude and how you're approaching the day. So take the initiative. Of course, some people have New Year's resolutions, of course. I would say I think it's 90% fizzle out after 21 days. But I will give some encouragement, and that's kind of how we start this these shows is some type of substance, some type of oomph. I don't even know how to describe it really, but here we go. Ralph Waldo Emerson again, day 2, says, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." I'll read it one more time. "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." I asked myself a question back probably like 4 or 5 months ago. And it was interesting. I got an interesting response from myself. And it's interesting when you ask yourself a question, you kind of pull yourself out of yourself and ask yourself the question. I asked myself, like, what do I believe about a certain particular subject? Something that was really near and dear to my heart. And I remember I asked myself 3 times. And the first time I gave an answer and it was somebody else's answer. It was something I read somewhere, right? And it wasn't really me. And so then I asked myself again and I got frustrated because I'm like, no, I know where you got that from. That's not what you think. And then, I asked myself again and it was another book I read, or it was another podcast, or it was another whatever, right? And then I finally said, but what do you think? And then I realized, like, in that moment, I guess I don't really know, and so it kind of, that's where my reading journey really took a shift, because it started as trying to learn what other people know, and then it shifted after that question, after that realization, and it shifted to where I'm reading to help me understand more about myself. These people are helping me to learn about myself. I'm not learning about them. I'm learning about myself through them, through their stories. Because, infinite ways to get to success. There's infinite ways to get to whatever, the end goal is for you. And if you can just take a little bit from everyone's journey and have the mindset of, man, I'm doing this to help myself and to understand myself. And if I understand myself, I can help someone else. If I don't understand myself, it's going to be really hard for me to lead anyone, to lead a family, to lead to lead a business, to lead anyone, and I think that's sometimes where we get it wrong is, man, we're out here, trying to help other people. And the moment we look in the mirror and say, how much have I really helped myself? It's like, man, that's a tough question to ask yourself. How well do I know myself? If someone were to ask me, what do I like to do? Just simple. I mean, go simple. Don't you have to go to the most complex thing, but like, then the next question is like, what do I feel like I deserve? Like, what do you think you deserve? Oh, wow. Well, now you're getting into a whole nother thing of, belief system. And then what do you think about like why you're here on earth? And now that's one of the probably the more deeper questions, man could ever ask himself is like, what's the meaning of your life? And if you don't have the answer, I think you should find it or search for it. Maybe you don't find it for 20 years, right? But I think the active search for it, the venture, to set off for it, just to, you don't get to. It's like a baseball analogy. You can't get to home plate if you still have your foot on first base, right? So I think it's the dive. You have to dive out into the waters, and you'll swim. Everyone figures it out. It's like the baby. How many times are you going to allow the baby to try walking? Well, you're going to give them 100 tries and it's over with.
Yeah.
Or like, 1,000. Like it's the until formula. It's until the baby walks. It's until you figure it out. And I think we as a society, and really when I say we, I'm talking about myself too, because I'm included in this picture too. But it's like we have to constantly understand that our own journey is priceless, and it could help. You don't even know how many people it could help if you take the time to really go on your own journey, not to follow what someone else thinks they think that you should have. Because a lot of times we see a post on social media of someone of heavy influence or someone in our life. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a well-off uncle who says you should go into law school or you should do this or you whatever, and all of a sudden we're 5 years down the road like hating it. And then we're like, wait, what the heck? And, I've definitely been there. I'm only 25 years old, right? So don't have all the life experiences, but been observant enough to take the good from the bad and the bad from the good and be able to formulate, okay, this is what I think about life. And guess what? It will change next month. As I learn more, it will change in a week. I'll probably become a new person, in a couple of days, right? And it's not never ending changing. Because think about this now, we're in an ocean of motion, right? So everything is constantly moving. There's a law that says, energy, all the energy there is already created. So you're either moving up or you're moving down. There's no staying still. So the month that you say, it's, personal development really doesn't, spark my interest this day or this month. Well, you have to go one or two directions. And I feel like the compounding, we were just talking about investing the other day, the compounding of, you put $5 in the S&P 500 for 12 years, all of a sudden, the market annually goes up 8%. You're like, whoa, 12 years later, you got a pretty good chunk of change, right? And then it gets to a point where you do that with your life, and all of a sudden everything just unlocks, and it's through. And this is a theory. I guess I haven't lived that part completely fully, but I mean, if you believe something, you say it before it happens. Babe Ruth called his shot. Sometimes in life you gotta call your shot, and sometimes in life you gotta upgrade. And guess who upgraded, Bach? Nebraska.
That's right.
Bring it back to Nebraska. Nebraska upgraded in a major way. Pritchett from Alabama, left tackle, right tackle, 5-star prospect out of the high school. He played at Carver High School in Georgia. He chose looks like he was at he chose Bama over Florida State, Georgia, and SC. So obviously a highly recruited prospect. Played 26 games over the past 2 seasons. At Bama in 2023, he played on special teams, probably in a pump block scenario and field goal, and rotated in with the offensive line. Okay, and then this past season, 24, Pritchett earned 10 starts at right tackle and one of them at left tackle. So had a little experience at left tackle. Now Nebraska has Gunnar Gatula at left tackle. Who knows? You're going to keep him. And who knows what this means for the New Mexico State guy, right? Now that you get this guy, is it like, we just needed 1 out of the 2, or are you still shooting for 2? I seen Louisville just had a well-regarded, top guy just enter into the portal. So it's like, are you going to still try to get, that left tackle situation? Are you set on Gatula? But I think this is a good addition for Nebraska. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There was some problems, with him at Bama. He's talking about on the field stuff, like as far as play, like it wasn't the most consistent. But the question is, he's come in for Bryce Benhart, right? Who will leave and do whatever he wants to do. But now the question is, do you think it's an upgrade, or we're staying at the same, or is it a little upgrade, big upgrade? Where are you at with this, Bach? When this news hit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've thought of it as opposed to like Bryce Benhart, because I know that he's out. So hopefully that this can be an upgrade. Again, like you said, I mean, I think he gave up 31 pressures this past season, starting 10 games there at right tackle, and it wasn't the most popular offensive lineman in Tuscaloosa, but he's still he just comes with a lot of potential, a lot of promise. I mean, you look at the picture of a guy. I mean, you look at his breakdown, you're like, wow, that guy's really big. Then you look at a picture of him, you're like, I don't know if that guy has an ounce of fat on his body. I mean, he's just
6'6", 327.
Yeah,
that's a big dog.
So and we talk often too about like how hard it is as a young player to play the tackle position specifically, or offensive line or defensive line, those positions specifically as a true freshman or early on in your career. Sometimes it takes some time. He's still got 2 seasons of eligibility left, so maybe he's taken a few lumps that he can learn from and grow and get better when he gets here. But as far as on Nebraska's side of it, is they needed to add somebody at least in, for competition here. You look at who's starting the bowl game. You have Henry Lutovsky, Justin Evans, and Gunnar Gatula back. So a little bit to work with. Gatula kind of a midway the season starter from then on. Justin Evans has been starting for 2 years. Lutovsky on and off 2 years ago, and then this year has been a consistent piece of that line. So it's not like they're starting from scratch, but I have to highlight it over and over again, because it's just been something that's just kind of been here, is that Benhart and Corcoran, even to probably even though a lot of people thought Corcoran might be better as a guard, they've been the only options you had at tackle. And when I say the only options, I like the only ones on the roster, but they've been the ones through, I think, 3 coaching staffs now that have been the best tackles on the team. And so at some point you're going to have to move away from them. This is that time. What have you built? What is there? And so hopefully some of these guys that in the redshirt freshman class can compete with Pritchett when he gets in and make it a competitive race to get there. But I think just by signing him, you circle him in as the starter at tackle.
Yeah, and I think here comes the question now is, you got, Bama guy come in, Pritchett at right tackle. And then, are you going to keep Henry at right guard?
Yeah.
Right. And then it's this question of where does, Turner Corcoran come in? Does he come in at right guard? And then, you move obviously Evans to center. You might put Bricks at left guard, or you might keep Gatula at left tackle. What do you do? That's the question. And so I think in the portal, you still probably need one guy. And I think it really depends on, okay, what are we doing with Justin Evans? We keeping him at center. Now that would make sense. He came in as a center, evolved as a center, went to right guard. So he has that center mentality. He has that cerebral cerebral breakdown of the game, IQ, high, right, can lead. Maybe that's the question. Who's the more vocal leader? Who do we trust to get the O-line lined up? Or does it come down to size or, those type of parameters? But for the most part, man, Gatula is going to be probably the question mark for me. Okay, are you getting better in the off season, right? Add into your body a little bit more. We talked about the freshman and sophomore jump. Gatula is a guy definitely needs to take that jump, of course. But this is great. This is great. This should evolve the offense and move it in the right direction.
Yeah, and of course, Shiaz Pete, the New Mexico State transfer, was in town yesterday. And like you said, now you don't know how many spots that they have open. I would assume, if it was me in charge, you'd try to bring him in as well. I mean, he was an all-conference player 2 years ago, dealt with a little bit of injury, but still played well this past season. And you can really fortify that tackle position because, like I said, they've had their problems with that before. Prohaska, is he going to come back? What's he going to look like if he does? They've had such a problem at that position that I would load up on it as much as you can and let the chips fall where they may. But one way or the other, it looks like Nebraska's offensive line is going to be pretty big. Every one of their starters in the bowl game was over 300 pounds. You kind of pencil it in. They look like that's going to be the case too. And hopefully, within that weight room, really getting the right kind of weight, right? Because it's one thing to be big. It's another to be ready to roll. And again, that's what I kind of like about Elijah Pritchard is that it looks like, he's got a pretty toned down 300 plus pounds.
And I think now the question goes, okay, where are we at with the tight end position? What's the conclusion there? Okay, are we adding weight on to Carter Nelson? Because that will have to happen. We're going to teach him, how to play with his hands, be a little bit more physical, learn how to get in 3-point stance and put him at tight end. Or are we doing this thing where we're going to have him play a limited role at receiver again, obviously, unless he beats out, your two transfers. But I wouldn't anticipate that happening. I think the smart thing to do is put some weight on him and throw him in at tight end. Because then, obviously you got Lindenmeyer, but are you happy there? That's the question, for the staff is, okay, do you think you can win with the tight ends we got now? You think you can? And what do you think, Bach?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lindenmeyer has been solid. We'll see what he can kind of develop as his career goes on. Was just a sophomore this past year, so maybe there's some upside there. But we kind of think of him as kind of more like we said the other day as an inline tight end.
Yeah.
Maybe you want somebody more with, to get open down the field, and that's where Harburg comes in and to see what he does there. You've got some other guys. Mac Markway came, transferred in from LSU. Could have played this year, but it didn't really factor in. So, I mean, once you kind of get down that depth chart, I know they've got some other young guys, Ian Flint and Eric Ingerson, who were freshmen this past year. Maybe let them develop along. But I don't think that with Fedoni leaving, it's tough to say that tight end position, even though you add Harburg, I don't think that you feel like it's better this year, right? And especially with Borkacher leaving as well, there's all these different things that we're looking at in the transfer portal that they're adding here and there, and most of the positions are like, okay, this is to improve upon last year's roster. Mm-hmm. I think the tight end position, there's a project there, but I don't know if you feel like it's gotten better without, and of course they haven't added anybody out of the portal.
Yeah. The tight end thing is, for me, I think it goes like this. It's with the air raid, you need someone who can block inline, right? Who's the guy who can do both? I don't think you have one. Who's the guy who can block inline and catch the ball, and make things happen? So if that's the LSU guy, and that's why, maybe we haven't grabbed someone after the Borkacher thing, or now a week after the Fedoni thing, we haven't, or in the portal, we haven't, seen them go out and get someone, or we haven't really heard rumors of, a tight end coming in. So maybe they feel as if they have enough. And, obviously they would have to gauge how much the LSU guy could produce. Because I think that's the factor. I think if you just go off of Heinrich, Nelson, and Lindenmeyer, you don't have enough to win Big Ten games. Obviously, The only reason I say that is because now you're throwing all your marbles on Nelson's development and Lindenmeyer's inline blocking. I think you need a little bit more of a dynamic force there, a consistent guy. Maybe that's the LSU guy. I don't know. But we'll see. And I think Harburg will find his niche in this offense. I don't know if it's going to be really at tight end. Maybe he'll be a little mixer receiver. He'll do some things. Maybe he'll be, being some 21 split back stuff in the backfield with, running back. And, they'll do some, remember Kansas, they had the 2 quarterback sets in 2023. It is some funky things, right? So maybe you go there with it. Other than that, I would anticipate, bring someone in, right? I mean, unless I know the 105 thing, but I don't see how it could hurt you, right? I mean, I've already seen crystal balls for another corner from U of A, right? And you look at the corner numbers. I mean, they have a bunch of corners, right? Nebraska has a bunch of corners. You got Buford, you got Bly Hill, you got Sayer Wright, and then you add in Andrew Marshall in the cat from Southern Illinois. You have, I mean, five, six, really 6 guys, that you can throw in there. You might, the rumors, right, or crystal ball, however dependable those are, maybe we get them or not. But the fact that we're even targeting another corner shows me that, if you can go get another corner, you can go get another tight end, right? And I think it will not only help this offense, but help this team out.
And we have breaking it down a little bit before, but I want to, for new listeners, new viewers to hear, what do you think the ceiling is for Harburg, or what is the challenge for Harburg in becoming a tight end? Because that move is partially, I think, thought of like, this guy has the athleticism for the NFL. Could you see Harburg blowing up at tight end his senior year, or do you think it would be a kind of learn as you go type of kind of deal?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for the transition is body movement. It's a very strange position because you have to play with a super tight base, but also strong base. So you have to find that kind of equilibrium there. And then also it's this thing where you have to play with your hands and you have to be physical and you have to play with good pads. And, as a quarterback, you're standing upright most of the time. You're not really used to contact. I've seen him, do the motion and throw some blocks. And that's cool, but that might be the niche, right? And even that you have to, keep excelling and keep growing in that role. But I think the thing for Heinrich is going to be, first of all, technique with hands, being physical. Is that something he possesses or not, right? Being physical with the hands is different than just being physical, right? And I think we have to understand that. In a dream world, you're Taysom Hill, right? You're Taysom Hill with, you're able to, they can motion Raiola out and bring, Heinrich in, and he would catch a shotgun, snap and quarterback sneak and, jump over the pile, right?
Yeah.
And maybe shovel pass here, throw into the flat, stuff like that, right? But as far as being the tight end, now you're talking, you have to seal the B gap, seal the C gap, kick out ends, win blocks against 270-pound defensive ends from Purdue, Northwestern, and Michigan. Well, that's a different task. And now you're asking him to be a traditional tight end with just 6 months of preparation. So it's going to be interesting to see the development. Not saying it can't be done. It's going to be hard or uncomfortable. It will push him, but it can be done.
Yeah, that would be one of the more interesting things to track this offseason, and then going into 2025 football season for the Huskers. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has added new strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today, and you can be one of the first to try it out. We're raising the bar with new benches, and our new hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all of the best-in-class equipment we've always had, with most clubs open 24 hours, so you can work out your way on your time. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 10th. See Home Club for details.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Ever stare at the Hog Wild menu and feel like you just can't make up your mind because it all looks so good? Well, when I want a little bit of everything, I get a little bit of everything on Hog Wild's Smokestack Sandwich. On a butter-toasted bun, we pile on our hickory smoked beef brisket and juicy hot links. The hard part is choosing between fresh curly fries, classic baked beans, or coleslaw on the side. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway. League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovboma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze. Afternoon high around 24. Tonight we'll see increasing cloud cover with a low around 14. And tomorrow we'll see a slight chance of snow showers in the afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny and breezy. High near 38. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hucker from 3.7 The Ticket, and theticketfm.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
We are back on What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington here on 93.7 The Ticket. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jake Bachman in studio alongside your host, Chancellor Brewington. Chancellor, I already asked you what's up. Let's say what's going on in the second segment here.
Yeah, What's Brewing? Appreciate everyone listening in. So let's take a look at just the offense depth right now, right? Or really, let's take a look at the transfers we have coming in. We have William. Oh my goodness. Here's where it gets tricky because I'm not going to butcher these young men's last names. So I'm just going to say first names and where they're from and what they play. Williams from Missouri, a D lineman.
Yeah, Waneri, I think is the way.
There we go. Bach is going to do my pronunciations. Kevin Gallick.
Yeah, I believe that's
long
right.
snapper, New Hampshire. That was mid-December. Jack McAllister. That's I mean, I got that one. Punter from Washington. That's big. Byron Bushini's gone. That's really big. And long snapper's big too. I mean, we had a bunch of concerns there. Then let's go Jalen George, D-line, East Tennessee State. This might be one of my sleepers. He played efficient ball. You know, I can feel like I can kind of gauge what type of guy someone is a little bit off of their media page and what they're about, what they post. And it seems like he's a team-oriented guy. Super loyal to his team, super loyal to his to his his teammates, right? Then you got Gabe Moore, D-line, Mississippi State. Nizia Hunter, wide receiver, Cal. That's big. I mean, you talk about a guy who I believe last season he had around 700 yards. He's a polished receiver, right? You know, you don't have to teach him how to run the tree. He already knows how to do so. Is this right? This list, I don't know about this list. We got DB Justin Rhett.
Yep.
Yeah, Justin Rhett from Georgia.
Yeah,
didn't play at Georgia much, if at all. But I will say this: if there's a team, I said this. The strategy in the portal is to go get guys who have produced. But if there's guys that haven't produced yet, and you think they have potential, and they come from one or three schools, and one of them is Georgia and Bama, right? And they come from prestigious programs. They know the culture. Rule has referenced Georgia's practice culture and the way they practice as a model for Nebraska. So him coming from that system, that culture, he knows what to expect. Really, he already knows the standard, and he can probably help out Nebraska. So that's a good. I love that. And then we got Deshaun. Go ahead. McCullough. Okay, that's how you get that. Linebacker, and he plays everything. I mean, you can put him, we've seen him line up at edge, although I wouldn't recommend it in the Big 12. He's played linebacker. I think probably he could play that jack. Probably. Just some like stand-up rushes in the A-gap, B-gap, C-gap, stuff like that. He can maybe play rover in some situations. You can get a little froggy with that, right? And then we got Dane Key out of Kentucky, polished receiver, can run good routes. I would say him and Hunter have similar skill sets. So the X and Z, might be interchangeable there at receiver. Andrew Marshall, this is another sleeper for me. DB, but you also can put punt return next there. Idaho guy, really comfortable back there. I've said this again. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Comfortable. He's a natural returner. And you say, well, what makes a natural returner? I don't really think there really is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 checklist. I think you either got it or you don't. And then, and he played good snaps at DB, so it's not like only you're a punt returner, but I know he'll be on the field next year, right? So that's like, you look at the list, you're like, okay, Nazia Hunter is going to play, right? You think Dane Key is going to play. You think Jack McAllister is going to play. He's a punter. We need him. Kevin Gallick, long snapper, you're going to need him. And then I think the next guy on that list where you say, yeah, we're going to need him is Andrew Marshall at punt returner, if not at DB as well. And then you got Hardly Gilmore, the fourth wide receiver out of Kentucky. He's a freshman last year, played a little bit, caught like 6-7 balls, over 100 yards for the year. Not a bunch of experience, but I would assume if you check the track record history, I guarantee Nebraska's current receiver coach recruited him in high school. I mean, that's usually how it goes. And then you got Marcus Watson Trent from Georgia Southern, the linebacker. He's a 6 foot, 225-pound guy. Played a little bit of like nickel in there. They kind of played that like 4-3/4-2-5, and he was kind of the nickel in some base sets. Sometimes bumped into Will. He looks decent in coverage. Like, he doesn't look like he's the, stout linebacker that, can just hold the box. Although he is, has that body type. He seems like he can move, right? So that will add some versatility. I think him and Shavers play similar. I think Shavers is a lot quicker. I think Shavers has better instinct, but I think Marquise Watson Trent has, I would say is better in pass coverage. Moves a little bit better there, a little bit experience, might add some leadership as well. And that's big. I mean, you're losing Gifford, you're losing Ty, you're losing Nash, you lost Jamari, you lost Deshaun, you lost Tommy Hill. So you lost some leaders. You need some leaders to step up, and that's big. And John Bullock's gone too. So then you got Jameer Khan out of Southern Illinois. I'll say this about him, Bach. I turn on the tape. Tape don't lie, right? We say that. Tape don't lie. Turn on the tape. Technique's remarkable. Technique's good. I mean, talk about closing space, open up hips. I mean, his hand placement, his off coverage looks decent. Real patient in his breaks. Efficient with his breaks, not taking too many steps. So I mean, good pickup there. I mean, Southern Illinois, you're like, yeah, that's not big time ball, but if you can play good technique as a corner, you can play anywhere. I'm gonna be honest with you, and it looks like he can run too. And then Elijah Pritchett out of Alabama. That just happened today. So, I mean, these 15 guys, that's a win in my book. That's a win, Bach. I mean, would you say, if you were to grade and say A, B, C, D, where would you grade that 15 list for what Nebraska needs and also just talent in general?
Yeah, I think they've done a good job in the portal now, and it really, a lot of it was kind of waiting for the offensive linemen to be included in the class, and Elijah Pritchard does round out the class very well. Not to say that it's done. Again, there's still some work to do that they're going to attempt. But you look at the rankings in the Big Ten, just nationally, Nebraska's near the top, if not at the top, according to some sites, as far as the top portal team in the Big Ten. And that can be huge. As we know, we've seen teams turn their teams around pretty quickly doing that. So, Nebraska, I think there's just a lot of, even if you get to the details of it, long snapper, right? That's not going to jump out to anybody. And hopefully we don't say Kevin Gaelick's name too much, but right. It was a huge need that maybe if they had, could have won the game or two more. So it's kind of interesting. I'm a little bit surprised at how many defensive backs they're going after, just because I thought they did have a stable of those. But, even with the 105, maybe you can never get enough of those type of guys. Backup quarterback, there's just a lot of spots. But my main concern going into this upcoming season, based on what Nebraska's lost, was that offensive line and defensive line play, because that's going to be, a major difference in any team, but certainly in the Big Ten for Nebraska. And I think they've done a pretty good job of addressing both sides of the ball. Now, again, I think you probably want to round it out. If they can get this other tackle, right, from New Mexico State.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, if they can get Shayaz Pete, then it'd be hard not to say, AA plus for what they've been able to do, especially in reaction to what they've had to endure as far as the losses early on in the transfer portal cycle. Remember, there was a few weeks there where it was like the sky was falling, and now that Nebraska's had a chance to respond, you go, okay, they've got this stuff, figured out as much as you can these days in college football roster management.
How much do you think seeing Kurt Cignetti do what he did at Indiana and, bringing guys from JMU, but also just smaller schools, played a part in Rule's strategy? Do you think that played any part?
I don't know if that necessarily played a part. It might have partially opened up his eyes to what college football is. Again, I think when Matt Rule came here, he did so saying like, hey, I haven't been in college football the last couple of years. Things have changed, but there was still this kind of long-term build type of idea. And that's worked at his previous stops going into year 3. This one's kind of tough. It's tougher now because some of those guys that you long-term plan on using are now leaving the door. And so you've kind of just got to go and find guys that other people have developed. Mm-hmm. So it's just a different route going there. They do have, I think, 3 FCS guys now to the transfer portal. So maybe
come on, baby,
it did open some eyes. But maybe they were going to do that one way or the other.
Come on, I love hearing the FCS. I mean, you look at the list, you're like, okay, well, some of these guys are maybe 1 year. Pritchett might play good and he's out of here. Nazia Hunter, it might play 1 or 2 years and he's out of here. And Dane Key might play 1 or 2 years and he's out of here, right? So then there's some long-term guys. Your D lineman from Missouri, right? He's a young guy. Even the Justin Rhett from Georgia, he's a younger guy. That so you and Gabe Moore. I mean, Jalen George from was that East Tennessee or
East Tennessee State?
East Tennessee State. So you have a mix between guys you're going to develop and probably won't step into the starting role right away, and then you got some guys that you're counting on and banking on for them to produce like they did at their school, but also get better in the offseason.
Yeah, it's been a big offseason for Nebraska. We'll continue to see how this thing rounds out. We'll talk more football as, of course, the college football playoffs Final Four will embark upon us in the next couple of days. And whatever else we want to talk about. Coming up next year on What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket.
Ever stare at the Hog Wild menu and feel like you just can't make up your mind because it all looks so good? Well, when I want a little bit of everything, I get a little bit of everything on Hog Wild Smokestack Sandwich. On a butter-toasted bun, we pile on our hickory-smoked beef brisket and juicy hot links. The hard part is choosing between fresh curly fries, classic baked beans, or coleslaw on the side. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze. The afternoon high around 24. Tonight we'll see increasing cloud cover, with a low around 14. And tomorrow we'll see a slight chance of snow showers in the afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny and breezy. High near 38. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hucker from 93.7 The Ticket, and theticketfm.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com. Or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years. Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and so much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road. Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through January 14th is $2 off beef jerky, $2 off ready-to-eat meals, and 20% off all candy. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretexcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Who says coaches don't have some free time? I just opened up my Twitter, or X as it is now, and saw Matt Rule tweeted out about 45 minutes ago. Seems to be working on a giant Nebraska puzzle. There seems to be a truck involved, and I'm not sure what else is going on. Puzzles can be a nice way to relax a little bit. You done any puzzling lately, Chancellor?
A literal puzzle?
Yeah, a puzzle.
Oh, puzzle. No, I love puzzles though. I love puzzles. We smashed probably like 15 puzzles during COVID.
Yeah, that's probably a big puzzle. I'm sure puzzle sales went through the roof.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Same with like Uno and Monopoly.
Yeah.
A bunch of card games. That's interesting though. I mean, maybe it's like symbolic, like, he's slowly putting the pieces to Nebraska together, in this off season, starting with Pritchett. And maybe there's a new piece. Maybe it's the New Mexico transfer. Maybe it's, I seen Louisville just hitting, their tackle, played really good ball. And he just entered the portal. Maybe it's him. I mean, that might be symbolic, Bach.
Yeah, that could be. Maybe that's what he was going for.
Yeah. Well, we got a big game tomorrow. We got Notre Dame, Penn State, and then obviously Texas and Ohio State. Coming up after that. Who are you leaning towards right now?
I think I like Ohio State and Notre Dame, which I think are the favorites too.
Yeah.
They seem to be the hotter teams. I've again kind of went through my own problems with what the playoff is, and I'm not sure if these are the 4 best teams. And while I go along saying that is that I think Ohio State's rather hot right now. Texas, I think they've been a little bit overrated all year long just because of the logo on the side of their helmet and everything that comes along with it. They lost to Georgia twice. I'm not sure if that's a top 4 team. Penn State, kind of a similar type of situation where they've been in the last several years, 8 years, whatever it's been, where they lose to the best teams. And I think this is where, win the games they're supposed to. And again, that's difficult in its own right, but they're always 10-2 with losses to Ohio State and Michigan. Well, Michigan was down this year or whatever. And now Ohio State and Oregon, and now you've got Notre Dame, who I do think is one of the best teams in the nation. So I think they'll take care of Penn State, and we'll have ourselves an Ohio State, Notre Dame championship.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you go to the 16-team playoff bracket, and 2 prestigious names come out of it. I mean, the matchups I used to love. I mean, when I loved college football, it was Bama and Clemson. That was, oh my gosh, seeing Deshaun Watson do what he did with his receivers. You had the young Deshaun Watson, then you see him, evolve and play against Jalen Hurts. And I forget who who snapped in those games. Always had great games. O.J. Howard, the tight end. He went to the Bucks. But seeing those, I mean, prestigious Clemson and prestigious Bama go at it. I mean, there's nothing better than that. And I think when you look at the 4 programs, I mean, Penn State's probably the outlier. I mean, is just the odd man there. But I mean, as far as Texas goes, I mean, Texas is Texas. I mean, you think about the Vince Young days and even before that. And then obviously, Notre Dame is what it is, and it's been a minute like for them to be back in that talk and that caliber. And then to take a step further and what's the head coach, Marcus Freeman? Freeman, yeah, like for the season to go the way they did for them. I mean, you second game of the year, you probably feel like the sky is falling. The Northern Illinois loss, and you're like, what is going on? Then they go and beat on the little brother Purdue, and it's like everything changes after that. So it's remarkable to see what they're doing, and I think Ohio State isn't the Ohio State we've seen in the past. Like, I don't think it was Ohio State when C.J. Stroud was there, or when JT Daniels was there, or all those people. I think this is a decent Ohio State team. I think that the bulk of this team is their defense. And still that there's some holes there. So I would say it's an up and down Ohio State team, but to see the names in there, like the programs, like that's what excites me. And I was kind of nervous, what if Boise State gets in there and gets blown out, right? Like kind of like the TCU situation a few years ago, where it's like, yeah, you get in, but it's not a good game, and people are done watching it by halftime, right? But you get in there, you get there, right? And that's what matters, but not really, right? You want it to still be interesting. And so maybe it's the powers that be that make that happen. I don't know, but maybe it's just the way it's supposed to be, right? And I agree with you. I think Notre Dame might get it done all the way. So I'm gonna ride out from here, predict Notre Dame beats Penn State tomorrow, and Ohio State probably beats Texas, and I think Notre Dame gets it done, all the way. But that'd be awesome for the program. I mean, that'd be awesome. I think that would be the step in the right direction. I mean, Marcus Freeman coming, and doing that and taking over. What's the former head coach? from Notre Dame.
Brian Kelly
Brian
with
Kelly.
LSU.
Yeah, taking over Brian Kelly and getting it done quick. Like the turnaround was quick, and I mean, it will be awesome to do that. To see that. I'm not really a Notre Dame fan. I think they need to be in a conference, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think they need to be in the SEC or pick something, right? Because then you get to just kind of cherry pick on who you want to play and this, and this. And the strength of schedule is now usually always average, maybe some years above average. It's never really like a hard schedule, right? So, but I'll still be happy for them.
Yeah, it'll be wildly entertaining if Notre Dame wins. I'm interested to see kind of what the shift is, or if they can kind of start something there at Notre Dame, how quickly they might become frustrations for other fan bases, because that's a nationwide fan base. Obviously, have the Catholic tie, so it'll be interesting if they win, to see how the rest of college football turns on them. But you did hit on something that I think is kind of interesting too, in the wild West era, maybe as we'll put it, where things are, it's a bidding war for the best players. I'm interested to see if these blue bloods continue to have the most success, because they conceivably have the most money, right, to spend on all these players. And so, I think that's maybe that's just happenstance this year. Obviously, these teams weren't the top 4 seeds, but I'm interested to see if those teams routinely are among the top once we get to the final couple teams in the college football playoff. One more thing to ask you as we close out the show. It's been reported now that multiple NFL teams are inquiring about North Carolina head coach Bill Belichick.
Really?
Yeah. So very interesting that he was there for an offseason. Nobody really gave him a call, so he decided to try college football. And now NFL teams are interested in him again. Do you think that he would jump to the NFL without ever?
I don't think anything's off the table.
Yeah,
I don't think anything's off. That's amazing, though.
Exciting times. We'll see what happens with that story. Plenty more stories to break down. The next people that'll be doing for you is Austin and Strick on the block, coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com. Or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and so much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
New year, new you? Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help make sure you keep that resolution this time. Our proven system combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition, along with our expert coaching to make sure you're moving forward toward your goals. The next 10-week